Well, I don't know what that means. How far is it? You walk here on Shabbos? You don't
Yeah,
here?
walk.
How far is the walk?
Oh, 10 minutes. Not so bad. Not so bad. Florida.
So we have a special night tonight.
Rambam.
Rambam's yahrzeit.
Wow.
It's a good thing. I remember my brother's birthday because he's a doctor. So he's a.
The hand doctor in Israel.
איך אתה מכיר אותו?
Yeah, that's a story that he forced somebody to put
כן,
took away
כן. Free choice.
took away his license. He put thin on somebody.
No, but what? הם לא עשו את זה.
They want to take away his license
איימו עליו,
because
כן.
oy, oy,
לא נורמלי.
in Eretz Israel by Jewish people.
כן.
Anyway, we're holding page.
Anyways, yeah, let's talk about דברים המשמחים. We're in the Maimer of Achas Shoalti. We started on the beginning again. It's really nice.
Stop in the middle of Shoshana and we're in Shoshana.
Yeah.
Confirm you're on.
What?
I think you are.
I don't think anyone's here.
No, but confirm you are.
Confirm I'm on?
Yeah, you're on.
What I need to confirm?
No, just confirm the video and audio.
Video, audio, working. I see myself. Ani kan, kuloi kan. Okay.
You can close the mic.
I think we're up to Daf Chaf Hey. So already this is a very, very remind me your first name again.
Shmuel.
Shmuel. This is really Geschmack Mayim. Have you ever learned this in your Shiur before? Or you think?
If I learned this Maimer, it might be 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's very likely you learned it. אתה רוצה לקרוא קצת? מה?
Kasha, התבונן בכל זה.
כן.
You said good.
You want me to read or you want? Okay, בוא נקרא. כאשר יש בין כל זה, one person will think about all this. You could have איך שיקראו הרבה חי צדקי, שהוא מקורא ושורשו וכו'. So what did we say in the previous paragraph? We said that Hashem creates the whole world. And think about this idea that Hagashmi is Pasha Tafel al Aruchni. Just like the Guf is batal to the Nefesh and only Misnaig al Piratzoinoi. Pasha feel what's the main thing is the Ruchnis, right? So when you think about this, Pasha think about this by looking at how you want to put yeah. כאשר יש בנו מכל זה, ויוקלט במרחק שעיקר הוא האור והחייצת, כי שהוא מקורה בשורשו לכולו, ובכל העולם יש הנבראים עליינים ותחתונים, תפילין ובטלין לגמרי, גבי מקורה מראשון לכולו, אז ודאי יספויל במויכוי וליבוי, what's going to happen is...
Like a recipe for his bonus.
Yeah, mamish a recipe for his bonus. And it's really not so intense. It's not so, it's very simple stuff. If you think about this, for sure it's going to have a big effect on you. First of all, you're going to have Ratzon V'cheshek to connect to Hashem. Shehu ha'ikar b'sherish makar hakol. U'b'chinas makar kol ha'chayim alienim zachtenim v'chol. You want to connect him, number one. Number two, v'cholayach bois this kasher b'chinas ha'tafel batal l'makar v'ikar hakol. You don't want to connect anything which is tafel to Hashem. Kamei ha'mazalois, right? The Alter Rebbe says, right? When you think, right?
Well, what are you talking about mazalas? Some people go to Sfari and says, "Give me mazal today, give me sgula for this, sgula for this."
We said before that einacha esav milamata.
Shena mazal shemelamala.
Again, so we said the zakasera ishtalshel is how everything gets. So milamata, the first the mazalas give them, and then the mazalas get from the Shmarei Yafanim, the Shmarei Yafanim get from a little bit higher, v'chulu, different targets. So when you realize that the Iker is the coolest, first you want to connect to Hashem, and second of all, you won't want the mazalas, which are these low levels of Hashem,
to give you highest. You want more than higher.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Alter Rebbe said, I don't want Gan Eden, I don't want Olam Haba. These are great things. These are great ruchnistic things, but it's not you. Ich will mer nit as dich allein. All I want is Hashem himself.
Like the Moshe will bring with the picture with the Melech, one guy is in sport from the somebody said on the Melech itself. It's like on the picture.
Yeah, I don't know, said Malka.
Yeah.
So that's the second thing. You're gonna realize Sheikar Elikus will begin as Makar Galachayim Alinim Satanim Chol. V'lo yachpoitz the skasher b'vchin as hatafel chavav.
What's the
Uvatel the Makar ve'ikar hakol. Kumaya mazalis, you won't want to connect all the tafel, which is bottle. Kumaya mazalis. Agam shem nikam gam hamashpiyim agabi gashmis. They give us. Agam bel yedmihem. By fanim which are malachim, v'chayis higher malachim. Shepula memechinas nivroim b'chodoshim aniyesh. All these levels, they're ruchni, they're likus, they're malachim, but they're creations. So we're in the folk line of Parem tefilin m'tein m'tachlis chulu. V'kol shekain. Yeah, please. V'kol shekain hamashmos shelo yeh chefter etzoynei ba'advorim hagashmim anishpoim hamazolis. Certainly, not only I won't want the mazolis, I won't want the gashmias coming from the mazolis. V'lo yichashvim le'ikar klal ki im kol cheftzoi or etzoynei yeh b'chinas ha'or v'chayis ki. All you want is in the or v'chayis of the key.
Not even this. Not even over Chayes Eloki. He want even the Eber itself. Not even.
Yeah, the Eber himself. Not
that's good. The over Chayes Eloki, but he want more than this.
Yeah, you only want the Eber himself, not very managed by him. Shalom Aleichem. Shehein ba'advar magashmi megufa. Yeah, tachlu is only a beginning of the shalom. So let's just summarize over here one more time. Let's just finish the sentence. Who should I hear? Said it's not even tanu gashmi. Ki im l'shem shemaim. Dan v'shol v'ledeshem v'torah b'tfila. V'shar l'kisha b'em yor b'nafshe b'chinas tesefes torah v'chayis cholu. We're on page chavav. About 10 lines from the top. Line starts with b'chinas tesefes, starting with Rashab. So just to summarize, what are we saying? We're saying is a person needs to think about this concept that living in the Olam Hazeh Gashmi, there's physical and there's ruchnius. When I see every single item, I can choose. We naturally see the Gashmius.
And we want the Gashmius.
And we want the Gashmius. And it's
so he told us no, his bonus should be that he should want the Rebbe itself.
But what? How do you reach there? That's the point. It's so simple. Think about this concept. It's simple. Why do I move? Why do I think? Because I've got a neshama which is causing me to move. When a person chas v'shalom leaves Olam Hazeh Gashmi,
nothing happened.
His neshama just left. Why? Because his guf by itself is garnished. So when you realize that your guf by itself is garnished and the ikar is alikus, right? So you're going to have a few results from this. Number one, you're only going to want to connect Hashem. And which level of Hashem? You're not going to want the malachim. You're not going to want Atzilas, or Gan Eden, all these mazalos, Ifanim, Chayes, Hakodesh. Hashem Himself, because you're the ikar. You're the tachlis of everything. And for sure, it goes without saying, you won't want the gashmias. You won't just go after your kavod and your.
But we are human beings.
Oh, so then he says you're human beings. So you're.
It's not tough relation. It's not tough relation. But you don't want to raise the up.
So that we just read. For sure, you're gonna have to live, right? You need to be bali, you need to eat, but you do it the shem shamayim. Lo lemalot tava. You do it the same shamayim. You do. Okay, this is what we're created for, right?
It's the how there is somebody in the hospital. He has no paycheck now to eat steak. He no paycheck. He want to be healthy. All the gashmirs don't even talk to him. I mean, these bonus should be that you don't even want the gashmirs.
Exactly.
We have a time for gashmirs so much, but these bonus should bring me. You shouldn't even ever. I should not even want it.
Yeah, exactly. If your mind is, even if like you've got like a stress in business or finishing something, whatever, you don't have time to eat. You don't think about it. You just like put something in your mouth
You don't care about it.
To keep yourself going. Exactly.
John is coming.
We open. I can give them balance.
And we remember John.
Here, my friend.
I think I left.
He lost.
I'm actually on cover. I ran outside.
Yeah. He needed gashmirs.
Yeah.
We want to like this.
Okay, so we're on page Chavav. V'derech klal. So what's up for that? V'derech klal. Yirtze sheyeh gilui elokus ba'olam chulu. All you really care about is for Hashem to reveal Himself in the world. V'hainu al yidei she's boinen v'izbenu sanal. Like we just mentioned, thinking about this concept. Ech sheha'ikar hu elikus. All the creations, all the yoinim, atachtoinim, the malachim, and even in this world, beteinim, utafeidim, legamri, lehar, v'chayis eliki. When you think about this concept, nasa etzloi gamkein in yonei ha'elikus ledavar ikri. Hashem comes a focal point. Hashem comes something an ikar in my life. V'in yonei hagashim shaloi naisim etzloi tfeilim chulu.
Yeah, he lost.
All the Gashmis, you understand, don't you don't do it. Chas v'shalom, you need to, Hashem wants you to live, Hashem wants you to eat, to be healthy, to do exercise, v'chulu. But it needs to be as a tafel. Ki ha'hanocha v'ha'chlata hazois, this decision that you have, shehunach v'huchlat etzloi, shelikus hu ha'ikar, v'ha'gashmi hu tafel v'gamri elikus. When you have this hanocha and hachlata, that is poel benafsho sheyu etzloi inyanei gufoi kinyanim tefilin, your physical items are going to be like a tafel. V'halikus yes like inyan ikri v'chulu. Number one. You want Hashem to be revealed in this world. Let's get more of this. It's great. It's wonderful. Let's just get more likus. Let's do more mitzvahs to reveal Hashem more. And even when you deal with physical items, you don't want the taiva, the physical, just the physical component, at least to enjoy it. To get from the godly spark in it. Therefore, you're only going to eat masha muchrach, v'loy b'mesha hu moisrois, v'gam b'masha muchrach, you're only going to eat what you taka have to eat, and taklas chav to return to the kabel chayis, me'ar b'chayis elaki v'chulu. Okay. Clear?
So it's a very deep isboinus that the person has to do.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I like the word he said. Hunach v'huchlat. What is the difference between hunach v'huchlat? That's like this idea of realizing that the main thing
is from the before. Hunach is right now.
This is written by the Rebbe Rashab, Reb Shalom Doifer, which is the fifth Lubavitcher Rebbe. He lived in
father.
Vidik Rebbe's father. Yeah, there's a picture of him.
That's the Rambam of Chassidus. Really? Tonight is the Rambam Yotzei. This is the Rambam of Chassidus.
This is a picture of him. This is a picture of him. So the difference between hunach and huchlat, I think, if I may say, lehachlit is to decide. You have the decision. You can live in this world and be, I don't care about this. Is it talui b'achlata shelcha? You need to grab yourself by a dime, grab yourself and say, Zeu, I am now deciding to be in this way. You can choose which way you want to go. It's your hachlata. It's your decision. It's up to you. I think that's huchlat, and it's ready. It's a change that you can choose to make. Chirach of sheet. So this idea hunach, this idea that it's real to me is huchlatetli, is that means you have some things. I'm learning another mimer. By the way, later on in this mimer, this hemshech.
I'm taking up our bachlot. What does it mean? Bachlot.
So let me tell you. Later on, I'm actually learning the mamar much later in this hemshech. The Rebbe Rashab speaks about the concept of das. There's chokhmah, there's bina, and there's das. Now das is a component of seichel. Chabad, right? Chabad is chokhmah and das is seichel. Chokhmah, what is chokhmah? What is chokhmah and bina? Chokhmah is called the Baraka Maverick. Have an idea.
You don't understand something when you learn, and then you understand.
You have a new idea.
You don't understand what. You got it.
You got it. Bina is the digesting, the developing the idea, understanding the shackle of Vitaria to build the whole idea. And there you understand it. What's das?
Kashrus.
Oh, so he goes a whole arichas on his kashrus, and it's beautiful. The Rebbe just mentions it in Tanya in Paragimel in like 3 lines. That's why the Rebbe Rashab is called the Rambam of Chassidus, because what the Rebbe says in 3 lines, the Rebbe Rashab says in about 4, 5 ma'amarim. But yes, the basic idea, I mean, a lot more hasbara, is that das is taking an idea and actually internalizing it. And huchlat, this is what we're saying, huchlat, that's like, it's not just, you have a professor, he's a professor of ethics, and then he's caught cheating. He teaches you the whole, he's a whole groiser maven in ethics and v'chulu, and then he's cheating on his taxes.
Not to smoke.
What?
Not to smoke. He's teaching you how to smoke. Then in the break, you go outside.
Exactly. So what's the point? Because he didn't have das, he didn't have akara, he didn't have hargasha, and that's the idea of what we're saying over here. We should need to have. It's not just his boinus which you need to have. In order for it to have a change within you, you need to have this hachlata, this decision that, like, okay, I'm going to do it.
The Gashmius doesn't talk to me.
Gashmius doesn't talk to me, yeah.
If somebody decided to make a dye, could be all the food on the table. He's not eating. Let's see.
Yeah.
But the achot have to be like
The
strong.
toikef. It's a
Not
very
easy.
strong toikef. Yeah.
That easy.
No, but once you do the achot, that's it. He doesn't talk to you. This food here or not food, I'm not eating.
It sounds easy, but when you make the achlata, there are a million different ways that the achlata will not be with you.
No.
Somebody wants to make diet and he has food there and he say, I'm not eating. You think it's easy?
Yeah. If the achlota is strong, I'm gonna have
Hallelujah. You know.
So maybe we should think about this once a week. Shalom Aleichem. Let's talk. Maybe like if person before you start davening, at least this week you're learning this mimer. Take a moment, think about the ruch. I mean, what's the Rashab saying? He's gonna go further. I don't need to say it myself. That was bichlalut. Ubifrat, we're on page chafvav. Ubifrat kasher is in Mashakasu, but the pasuk says, "Re'ei nasati levnecha et hachayim ve'et hatov ve'et." He doesn't say hamaves ve'es hara v'chulu. The Rebbe Rashab always wants to speak nicely. Pirush chayim hamaves. What does chayim hamaves mean? Ein hakavana b'chayim be'eis shani v'chai. Umaves hu le'achar pirud hachayis chulu demize petty. Who is this a stupid person? When the pasuk is saying, look, I've given you the ability to be et hachayim, v'chayim, and be'samavis. What's he saying? Is he saying I've given you the ability to be alive or to be literally dead, and you choose? So that's not a choice, right? Obviously, I want to be alive, right?
to be petty.
Obviously, the pshat, right? The pshat and a little more. The simple pshat is yes, a chaim thing, but the little more deeper, the Rebbe Rashab saying it's very obvious that I want to be alive, and it's not really a choice to be dead. So he's going to speak about that there's chaim and there's mavis while you're alive, right?
He's a dead alive.
Rishoyim b'chayim kriyim mesim, right?
It is a concept in English, right? He's a dead alive.
He's dead alive. He's a walking dead man.
He's walking dead.
Walking
Okay,
dead.
sorry. He's walking
He's
dead.
a Schrodinger's cat, dead or alive.
There's a concept like this.
He's
alive.
what? He's just like a cat, you said?
Schrodinger's cat,
Oh.
dead or alive.
Okay, so what's this? I guess it's got a makar in chassidus. Let's see. So what does it mean? The whole nivra. You have two options. But the ace shu b'chayusay v'kiyumo yeshbo yichayim b'maves. When he's alive, he has these two ways of living. Shegash miyas hadavar v'chumrius so yumaves poetem. The physical gashmius alone by itself is maves. The hainu, which means shu kolav and ifsad on its own initiative, it's going to disintegrate. It's going to be, that's also what happens to the gashmistic body. Worms eat it. V'chulu. The kasher roya had adam hefsed kol davar gashmi. When you see that every gashmi by itself is going to eventually get ruined, the kasher margish gam be'atzmai ki lo yana koyches gufnim shloi shekolim nifsadim izman chulu. You also see yourself get older. People can't move as fast. People can't think as well. People can't, do exercise. You see, my gashmiistic body is fading, is getting weaker. I mean, none of us over here, but when a person gets much older, it happens.
I am.
Right? And when you think about this idea, you see that the gashmi by itself is maves v'ara, v'haruchni is v'ako yachel leki hu achayim she'ein b'zeki lo nefsed chas v'shalom. There is no difference between the chayis in a baby that is 1 second old to the chayis which is in a person that's 95 years old. They're exactly the same. It's always the same. You know this. You feel in your spiritual your vision make it weaker. Your walking ability, your gashmiistic ability make it weaker. But the older you get, the smarter you are. Because this Saba datoy chakim, right? Datoy sosim chulu. Sorry, it's what it says in Zoyar.
I think he's trying to say that when you're old, you don't have a time for the gashmis. Because you realize it's nothing.
No, he's trying to bring out two ideas. Just think about this idea that your gashmi by itself gets weaker and weaker and weaker. When you get old, all your gashmistic koyches, your walking ability, so realize. So that means the gashmi. If something gets weaker and weaker and weaker, means it's mavis by itself. It means by itself, it's hoivev and nifsat. It's mavis. Why does it get weaker and weaker and weaker? Because by itself it's not alive, and that's why it's dying slowly. Mashiach and the Chayis, no, before the Eibishter, look at your own self. I have two parts of myself. I have a Gashmistic part and a
And the
Ruchnistic part.
Chayus with day 1 and day 100 is the same thing.
And also the Koichos Ruchnim, like your Seichel,
Yeah.
not only does it not change, it gets stronger.
The older you get,
The older you get, that's what it says. Saba
More
Datoi
wisdom.
Sasim.
So why older people have Alzheimer's?
That's a good question.
How do you
But-
tax these words? Sabbath, association.
That's a Zoyer. Saba Datoi Sasim, his Das is, I think the context of Sasim here means it's so hard to understand. Man kann das nicht verstehen. Sasim. Yeah.
It's non-reachable. Right?
Yeah, it's like it's closed up. Sasim. But I mean the pasuk says Yamim Yidabru with the very Shanim yeah. The Hela says you see right here. Yamim Yidabru Shlomo Melech says V'roiv Shanim Yoidiu Chachma. I believe the pasuk is.
Yes.
The older you get, the more wise you get. I don't know. Alzheimer's, maybe it's got to do with a brain condition. I don't know what Alzheimer's is exactly, how it happens, but
Or dementia.
yeah.
Same thing. There's different word.
It's not the same thing. It's the same idea. Two different diseases that hit.
So it's when you get the.
I think it's the idea. It's a disease to the brain. That means
It's a disease of the brain. There are two different types of diseases.
right. Okay, so that's
They do the same thing.
I think that's something else that comes to the body. Person's vision, chas v'shalom, or his walking ability by itself, even without chas v'shalom getting hit by something, gonna get weaker. But if a disease comes to the brain, also like Alzheimer's, I think I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's a disease that comes on. But the person himself, even just before he had Alzheimer's, was
Right. Some old people are to the poor past
Right at the moment.
very smart. The
Very-
brain is 100%. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So if you think about this idea that the guf by itself is hoive v'nifsad, whereas the ruchni is getting stronger and stronger. The koyach sichloi be'etzem mischazik u'misiyashev yoser. It's a very interesting idea. Misiyashev yoser, like it says, Arboim shana koyim adate derabe. Things start making much more sense as the older you get, right?
Yes.
You can learn something. I don't know if you've had it. You've learned like a Gemara in Yeshiva.
Oh,
And you learn the same Gemara like 10 years ago, and you remember in Yeshiva it was so hard. I didn't understand it. And you learn it 10 years later, and you're like, maybe just because you've done it before also, but it's also could be because you're more miyushav.
Yes, sir, they are kuta.
Okay, that's also, yeah.
Okay.
I give you a mushal. I always told to young Inkalaites
So
that's
they are
married
kuta.
cleaners.
No.
That when I was a hot in Yeshiva, I was taught in Irol, Lo Masach Kiddushin. The Mishnah started, Aish Mekadosh Yeshiva Shal Puto. So the teacher told us, yeah, Mekadosh Yeshiva Shal Puto. I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to stand there now till after you marry. What he said? That Chasana you could buy Puto, but the maintenance is a little bit more.
But what?
Maintenance is a little bit
Yeah.
more. So nobody understands what you're talking about. He said, but you're going to send in 20 years from now. Taka, when you're married and you start paying for the cleaners, it's, I have to pay for also. Now you have what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? It took you 20 years to understand what he wanted to say. Right?
Okay.
It's a good marshal.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. The koyach sichlei betzem is chazik v'yashev yoser. Ukmoi ziknei talmidei chachamim kol zman shemaskinim daitam yusheves v'cholu. That's the Mishnah. Umizeh yovin the ha'or v'chayis eliki ubevchinas chayus v'kiyom cholu. So this.
Everybody that writes halacha, you see that when you repeat this book, changes his mind. Many times you see it. No? The sechel is changed already. When his story is, he decided that's the halacha. When he's 50, he decided no, the halacha is different.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So this is the first bonus. That's what the pasuk is saying. Chevre, you live in Olam Hazeh Hagashmi. You have a choice. Re'ei nosati lefanecha esachayim ve'esatoiv ve'esamoves ve'esara. You have a choice. You can live in this world where you know that guf that gets weaker and weaker and weaker, and then when a person chas v'shalom dies, the guf goes in the earth, offer tashuv, and worms may eat it and stuff like that. Are you going to live a life where you're going to run after that thing and be lahut after gashmius and just getting moisturized, amaves vesarab? Or are you going to choose that while you're living in Olam Hazeh Hagashmi, you're going to make the ikar like kos, davening, doing Torah and mitzvahs, and obviously dealing with gashmius, but only doing as much as you need to do and doing a shem shemayim, whatever it is, right? Oh, Vinyan, next page, Chav Zayin. Vinyan kvilas haloshen esachayim vesatoiv. Why do we say twice esachayim, the life, esatoiv, ve'esamaves vesarab? Double loshen. Inyan who? This means ki hu yisbarach nikra chaye hachayim, the life of the lives. Shehu b'chinas makor hachayim. So you have the life and you have the makor of the chayim. Two things, right? V'hainu b'chinas soivev shebemale havaye shebe'elikim. So there's Havaya by itself, Hashem by himself, and then there's the koyach of the Eibishter of the Havaya, which is higher than the world, dressed in the Elikim. The Hashem is Havaya Elikim, the B'derech Klal, Zeu B'chinas Mamale Kol Olmin, V'Saviv Kol Olmin. In these two godly levels of the Yesh B'chinas Elikim Behavaya, or B'chinas Havaya Sheb'Elikim. I'll explain this in a second. V'hu, the B'Shem Elikim, Sheb'chinas Mamale Kol Olmin, Yesh B'I Gamkein, B'chinas Havaya, B'chinas Asoiv Cholu. Did anybody understand what we just read?
No.
There's a Seviv and there's a Mamale.
Yes. Because you know what Soiv Mamale is? Yeah.
The Seviv and the Mamale. In the Mamale you have a Seviv, and in the Seviv you have a Mamale. In each part of them you have both, the one and the other. There's Shem Havaya, Shem Elokim.
Yeah.
In Shem Havaya you have Shem Elokim, and in Shem Elokim you have Shem Havaya. That's what we try to say here.
Yeah. So
So
just
is a lesser material. It's the roundabout.
say again.
So is the outer circumference, no?
Yes. Soiv is
The
outer
outer
circumference,
is nucleus.
but it's not that it's an outer circumference. It's not the reason why we call it Soiv. It's not actually the outer circumference that it's not here. What we mean the outer circumference is that it's not mislabish. That means it's not that
Not
there's like
physically,
a
it's not.
that there's like a bubble, a circle, and the circle inside is empty. That's not what we mean when we say Soiv. That's what it's literally translates. Soiv Galama means that it's a light that is found here, but not invested inside. It's like a teacher teaching a student. I've said this Marshall before, where you walk into the class and so one teacher, he's interested in explaining to them, he wants them to understand, so he goes down to the levels, he gives them a shalim, he explains the seichel, and he goes down and he spends time and he connects to them in a way that they can understand. That's mamalik olam. He's taking the seichel and he's dressing it inside them, mislabish. Then you have a teacher who walks in and he says, I don't care if they don't understand. I'm going to just say one more thing. So he goes and he says, throws out Kabbalistic words, whatever. The kids are just like, I don't know what he's saying. They're listening. They're getting it. But it's just flying over their heads. That's called soivev. It's there. They got it, but it wasn't mislabish within them. Right? So they weren't koinet. Exactly. So soivev is a light of Hashem, which is so high that it's not adaptable to be within the nivra. Okay, but in this context, just a little more context, we're calling this Havaya and Elikim. We know that it says Yahalu Hashem Havaya ki hu tziva v'nivrau. From Shem Havaya, the world was created b'derech memele. The same concept. The Witcher walks and he b'derech memele teaches. He's not mislabish into the nivra. Whereas by Shem Elikim, it says Bereshis bara Elikim. He creates an oifen that he's mislabish, an act of creation. So Let's see what he explains. I don't want to go. I don't know which way he's going to go in this. But each one has a little bit of the other one. Let's see what he explains, and we'll base it off that. The level, the sphere of Malchus, which zeu b'chinas haroimemus v'isnasus the Malchus. She'enoi b'chinas islapshus b'olmois. When we said that this concept of Sovev, so you have the level of Malchus, and in Malchus itself, you have the way he's a king. A king is aloof. Elevated, removed, roimemus, visnasus, which is not mislabish animals. He's in his palace. He's above. Malchus has various levels. There's a level of Malchus which goes down into the world. That's the chitzonius. But the roimemus of the king himself is removed. The chitzonius Malchus. Regarding the level of Malchus that is mislabish in the world, we say mislabish, chayes of the world. Aval b'chinas haroimemus the Malchus hagam shu b'chinas haroimemus al ha'olemus. It's like soivev. It's al ha'olemus. Malchus. He's melech ha'olam, but he's higher. Mikol makom einay b'chinas hislabshus. And I'm just okay.
Daniel, he says that when you go into the echol, it doesn't make a difference to you if you give a hok to the king if he has one dress or 10 dress. You're already in the king. You give him a hand. It doesn't make a difference.
So what do you mean about this over here?
You're not Seviv, you're Mamala already. You're like, that's why I'm trying to say that
saying that there's two ways the way the king is a king. In Malchus is the king. Malchus is he's a melech ha'olam. He's king of the world, but the way he's in his palace, like
he is separate from the
merumam meham.
No.
That's called the soivev, mishichmai v'mala, the soivev of Malchus. Then you have the way the melech is actually dealing with the Medina, making laws, making gzeiras, v'chudu. That's chitzonis ba'atam achayes kulam. He says this place needs this gzeira, these people need that gzeira.
The melech,
That's still the melech making. That's chitzonis malchus. Ba'atam achayes dibur, right? B'dvar Hashem. I'm gonna skip these parentheses. Let's skip the parentheses. We skip. Yeah, Valzen Emar. Valzen Emar. Le'ahava esavaye. 1 second. So this was a mashal that Malchus. I think what he was trying to say is that there's a one component which one side of it is soivev and one side of it is mamali.
Right.
So there's a little bit of a skalus between them in one sphere, right? Let's see where he's going with this. Valzen Nemar le'ava es Hashem Elokecha ki hu chayecha. You need to love Hashem. Why? Ki He's my life. And move on. Masha Amar chayecha. He's my life. What does chayecha mean? Mash mashu chayan neshamis befrat. Why do we say love Hashem ki hu chayecha?
You should say.
No, הוא לא רק חיי, הוא חיים של כל העולם. ואתה מחייס כולם. חייך, we're saying that Yidden, but Yidden, we're saying Yidden are special. לאבא השם אלוקיך כי הוא חייך. Something unique. There's something unique. You know why you must love him? Because he's your unique life force. Why is my unique life force? He's also the unique life force of this cup.
The whole world.
Of everything. Right? It's a dear question. So the answer is what?
If he's of everything, he's obviously of every single person.
Right. So again, it's not a shaila al pipshat. You know what I'm saying? It's more again. It's more like
the chayes that I have in my goof.
Probing deeper. If ba'atam achayes kulam, so what's the special is boinanus? I need to love Hashem ki chayecha. Just be misboinan. Ba'atam achayes kulam.
The chayes that I have in my goof. It's chayes the whole goof. It doesn't make a difference, but some part of my goof had more chayes, some part less.
No, we're trying to say there's a special if lava and it's the same chayes in the whole world. So there's nothing special about saying ki he's your life. Say love Hashem because he's the chayes of the world. When we're specifying love Hashem ki chayecha, we must be saying that there's a unique
Melech.
There's a unique idea of chayecha. What is it? Let's see what it is. There's a difference between the chayes of the world and the chayes of the neshamis. Like we said before, the chitonius of Malchus, the whole world only gets from the chitonius. The level of godliness in the world, which is where there's a yid. Nefesh even our chayes comes from a high level. The malchus, therefore, ikar hamelucha who have neshama Yisrael davka chulo. And Rosh Hashanah we say Malay chala oilam kuloi bichvoidecha. We're trying to coronate Hashem on the whole world, but we're coronating Him. We have Kabbalas HaMalchus. Why? Because we have a stronger shaychus to Hashem's melucha than anyone else in the world. Why? What's the beer based on what we just said?
Because we are the one that did the chayes.
Because we said in Malchus, in Hashem's melucha, there's two levels. There's soivev and there's mamale. So really, we start off saying Malchus is really mamale.
In Malchus,
there's soivev sheba mamale. There's a component of soivev sheba mamale.
That's what he started in the beginning too.
That's what he started in the beginning. That's why I didn't want to say because I want to see exactly what he's talking about. So that's the mashal. So Malchus is Mahav of the world. Melech Shema Yinikra Aleim, right? Ein Melech V'Lo'am, right? Malchus is shaykh to the world.
So the outer mamale is also for the world?
Yes.
That's interesting.
The whole concept of Melucha, Ein Melech V'Lo'am. The whole concept of Melucha is only shaykh on a nation, on someone which is separate.
At the same time, you said the Melech is moving away from the nation. He's not belonging to the nation.
But in being a king, you have two components.
In the king itself,
you have the way he's merumam, he's higher. The roimim was just pnimios hamalchus. And what are we saying? This pnimios hamalchus, do you know who has access to it? Only neshamas. And that's why we say, Lav Hashem Elokecha ki hu chayecha. You can love Hashem. You know why? Because not only the whole world, they get from Chitzonis HaMalchus. So you need to have these knows the whole world gets from Atam Chayes. This is what we're saying, right? We're saying why does it say
they get more chayes than us? They get from Seviv, we get from Malik.
no? They get from Amali, we get from Sovev. The Roman was the Sovev Sheba Mamali. Again, in Malchus,
Right?
there's Mamali Sheba Malchus,
Yes.
Mamali Sheba Mamali, and Sovev Sheba Mamali. What's what?
We get the save Shabbat.
Exactly. We get yes.
Who's on first? What's on second?
We get the Sovev Mamali because we have access to the Roimus of the Malchus because we're so high. Our neshamis, Hashem loves us so much, and we're so lofty. Our neshamis are connected to the way Hashem is merumam. He's higher.
So saying the pasuk Vatam Chayes
Ah.
Kurom, meaning Vatam Chayes Kurom, small level of Memale.
And that's the lower level of Mamali.
And then what's the loss on Os?
Kihu chayecha.
Chayecho. That's already the.
So you understand the two separate isboinus. And I think we're coming to answer again. Lama, we said we started off the paragraph. What's the fail of Lava Esachaim Esatoiv? And we said there's Chaye Hachaim. There's Chaim, and then there's Chaye Hachaim. We're showing different levels. So we start. He's going to build it up. Let's let him finish. But we're just building out this concept that even in Mamale you have the whole world. Latam Chayes Kulam is from the Chitzonis Malchus, and the Sham is us. You need to love Hashem. Not only we have Ruchnis, but we have the Primus Malchus. Okay, let's see. Oh, and that's what I want to say. So that's why in Rosh Hashanah, he said in parentheses, "V'lochein ikar hamalucha hu al neshama Yisrael davka." For Hashem, you're king. You're mainly king over us, because only Yidden have an access to Primus Malchus. The whole world's connected to Malchus.
We could make you a Malchus, but not they're going.
And through us, Hashem's king to the whole world. We're the conduit. Yeah. Anyways.
It says when Mashiach will come, even the Goyim would want to serve Beis Hamikdash, and they're going to realize that we are the one that choose that because of us they have chayos.
I know. I was actually just thinking about that. I spoke to a guy today from Montana, and because I work with Chabad Dalog and I speak to all these different people, and he tells me I keep halacha to the higher standards. I started keeping kosher and whatever. I was like, why don't you keep just 7 Noahide laws and whatever? Like, he's like, yeah, I'm trying to whatever. I'm trying to be as much Jewish and whatever. And it's the thing about this. Like, they're
jealous. They want something.
They're jealous. They're trying to get it.
They sound higher that we have.
They don't.
You want to have the chase, the time the choke we have. You can't have it.
You can't.
He doesn't have a Shabbos. He doesn't know.
Oh, so that's why he finishes off and he says, "Valze Omar Lav Hashem Elokecha ki hu chayecha." Lav Hashem ki hu chayecha. What's unique about this? Hashem is chaye haneshamos davka. Unique. Shein v'chinas shein b'shem havaye shelamala m'shem elikim. This level of Roim Mosamalchus is havaye higher shein b'shem elikim. How do you get this hava? Boim la'ahavazu al yidei yayish boinu nusanau. Thinking about what same thing as before.
You have to have explainers. You can't come to it without explainers.
Yeah, doesn't come easy. There's b'chira chavshis in this world. Shal yidei shiyach boitz b'koyach u'makar achayim amugbolim boilamois. First step is you should want. What should you care about? The makar achayim hamugbolim boilamois. First want chitzonius hamalchus. First thing v'adam achayis kulam. Think about that. The ikar of everything is ruchnis.
So the bus well and shmo balashmo. Something like it can go, no?
I mean, it's a little bit more. I mean,
It's more.
it's on derech.
That's exactly.
Yeah, it's that process. So
Right.
first thing about thing, mamela yumshach l'tov kaba yisparech, ma'amish b'chinas arin soy v'chaya chaim. So then you reach the true chaim, chaya chaim, and now this answers the question. V'zeu the kefer haloshin hachaim v'hatov. What's hatov? Pirush hatov means hatov b'chinas chaim, something which is better than life. It's not equal to life. It's toiv meichaim. Ki toiv chastecha meichaim. Your chesed is greater than life. Why? Because your toiv is lafi shehu taye hachaim, which is what we call v'chinas nishmasa l'nishmasa. Usually the yechida. V'loshen hagemara nikra mechaye hachaim. He gives the chaim.
You get close to the chaim.
V'hainu sharuchnius nikra chaim. General ruchnius, which is it's called chaim, hu b'chinas memale kol olmin, or b'chinas soivev sheba memale shelamayla b'chinas ruchnius, higher than ruchnius. Ulegabe ruchnius v'gashmis shavin. Zeh b'chinas atayv shebachaim chulu. Okay. This is the first step of what we explained. Es achaim es atayv. First is poinus. Is that clear? Any questions? Can we continue?
לגבי רוחניס ביקש משווים, לא יודעים לגבי רוחניס, the חיים, רוחניס ביקש is the same thing? This is a toisha b'chaim.
Yeah. Olegabe, that's what you read. Olegabe, with respect to this level, ruchnis v'gash mishavan. Just like we say in Hashem, haloi och Esav liYaakov. Nevertheless, ves Yaakov ahavti ves Esav sonesi. There's a level in Hashem where Esav and Yaakov are equal. Just like the mashal I gave in the teacher teaching us the class. By memale kol olmin, the teacher is trying to go into the student. So one Talmud chaps very easily. Another Talmud goes differently. He goes everywhere differently. But Soivev, when a teacher comes and starts and he just blurts out the information, he goes everywhere b'shaveh. Whether this guy's smart, whether this guy's not smart, right? Whether this guy's ruchnius gashmi and level of Soivev, the level of ruchnius v'gashmi is shaveh etzloi. Esav and Yaakov, no nafkamina. So he's saying this daga of toiv, there's no limitations. Okay. And that's why we're saying Ki toiv chaslecha mechaim. Hashem's chesed, Hashem's true rachmanus is so great. You know, we're learning this week, the famous bitachin sicha, this week's parsha, the sugya of bitachin. A person chas v'shalom can be chayiv to get an oynesh, but you still have a mitzvah to have bitachin. Why? Because if you have bitachin in Hashem, you connect to such a high level of Him, where oynesh and the thing, ruchnis v'gash misham, doesn't matter what you are. He can forgive, he can do whatever he wants, he can give in, and there's no limitations. That's toiv chaslecha mechaim. Yeah, clear.
So he explained the first part of the Batum.
Re'ein asati defanacha, es achayim ve'es toiv. Now we're gonna. Any questions? Good.
What's the other part of Mavet and Ra?
Moichin v'heipech. We're going to explain it. The exact same thing as the heipech part of the pasuk. What does it mean? Sivis hamaves v'sara. What is the difference? Maves u'bechinas hagashmius v'chumrius hanivra. We said before, maves is the physical. Shu bechinas maves be'etzem lama lihiyoisoi kole v'nifsod chulu kanal. It disintegrates as time passes. V'hara u'garua harbe mehamaves. Ra is much worse than maves. Just like toiv is better, much higher than a chaim. Right?
What would be more than Mavis?
Let's see. Achara bein Hashem hu be'emes ra umar yoiser mehamaves. Lama. Sharei hamaves hu rak heipech hachayim k'moi shehagashmius heipech haruchnius. What is maves? In this case, maves means just gashmius. What?
The opposite of life.
The opposite of life, exactly. Which in this context doesn't mean death. It means gashmis. Remember we said it doesn't mean death in this context. It means achayim is ruchnius and gashmis is called maves. Why? Because gashmis itself, if you live a life simply, you just try to make money, a person chas v'shalom dies, none of the millions of dollars you made is going with you. Don't be kol ifsan.
No, your body call it an ifsan.
Your body's calling ifsan. All your body's possessions are calling an ifsan. So that's why we're calling it even while you're alive. So now we're alive. We're alive. Baruch Hashem. Many more happy, healthy years. What?
We're alive because we don't say that.
Yeah. So I mean, to be alive in this world means to live in this world in a way where I'm not going to be just living and I care about making money in my own kavod and my gashmias and to eat, because that's a life of mavis. Because it's kol and ifsan.
Kula means end.
Kala means it ends. The nifsa it means it gets weaker and weaker. Yeah.
The four oil was that Rashab made. It's everything hove and
v'nifsa.
Whatever the wood, it was a tree that you cut the tree, it became wood.
You should
After
know.
many years the tree became ash. Whatever.
So
the Adomo and again.
Exactly. You know, like the Philosophians say, one of the rayas, it's a big pella. You know what's a big pella? the sun has been rising and setting with the same koyach for 5,786 years. And it's a big shaila because every Gashmi is Hoivim and Ifsad, so it's not getting any weaker. And the answer is that this, the philosophers say, this is a proof that there's a koyach ein sof bligvul in the Gashmi. If there was no koyach ein sof in the Gashmi, there is no way for the sun to rise with the same chayas and think everything. Because the sun by itself, even though it's a sun, that's a planet, it's a gross zach, it should get a weaker. So why is Ra worse than Mavis and much worse than Mavis? So Mavis is Hepech HaChaim, just like Gashmi is Hepech HaRuch, the second last line. Havel Ra is Hepech HaMenakeh, the Bechinas Chaye HaChaim. It's the Hepech of the level of the Roimemus Pnimius HaMalchus. Sharei Kol Davar Isur Hu Hepech Ratzon Elyon. Ra is not just Gashmius, it is doing an Aveira.
Ra is opposite of what the Melech wants.
Yeah, it's opposite of the Chaye HaChaim. The Pnimius HaMalchus, when a person is doing an Aveira, he's committing spiritual suicide.
Right.
He's being murdered b'malchus.
Yeah.
He's not just passively going after God. He's being murdered b'malchus. Shu chayachayim b'chinas sev kol almin sheba cholu. V'kevan shemenaged d'moinei gilui b'chinas chayachayim. When a person chas v'shalom does an avera, he is preventing, right? Every avera you do, it says in a certain sense you cause pares to your neshama. You're cutting off your neshama with the reimus hamachos, so you're disconnecting chayachayim mashe toiv u'meula le'in case b'chinas chayim behechrech shu. So therefore, it must be that this is worse than Mavis, because Mavis she'enarak menaged b'chinas hachayim chulu. U'ba'olam in the world b'chinas hamavis u'b'chinas hagashmi shaloilam u'b'chinas ra hu inyanat taiva. So in the world, what is ra in avodas Hashem? Mavis itself is just plain gashmis. Ra is the koyach hataiva. Masheroitze v'hadavar lemalos tavos nafshay zeu b'chinas ra shegarua harbe yosem. Not, and that's taivas heter. You want to eat, things which are permitted. V'kol shekein taivas isur rachmana litzlan shegarua b'yoser chulu. Gashmius is
Bal Taiva is worse than a dead person.
not than a dead, worse than Gashmius itself. There's Gashmius.
The Bal Taiva for the Gashmius.
There's it's like Klipas Noiga and Shalosh Klipas Atmeis. Klipas Noiga is still like Parav. Gashmius is just Gashmi. It's just saying.
But you have a Taiva for the Gashmius.
Your Taiva is now able to bring you much worse down.
It's so wrong.
What? Yeah.
This to have the Taiva, the desire to do Avera, that itself is worse than the Mavis.
I mean, the Taiva,
It's about Taiva. You say it's about Taiva. You say he's a dead Bal Taiva.
No.
He's a live Bal Taiva.
What do you mean? I don't understand your question. Sorry.
What he tried to answer why he says Moves and Ra, two things. Like he says, the opposite of the Chaim. What's worse than Moves? Say Bal Taiva. Why Bal Taiva is worse than Moves? Why this is so raw? What's wrong if I have a desire to have?
Because the Taiva is getting you to do Averis.
No, none of Averis.
Oh, if you're having a Taiva to do a mitzvah, that's his hapra.
No, I have a Taiva to eat.
It's an Avera. So viskadishtem yisem kadeshim.
I have to break.
It's a machloikes, but Al Rebbe actually says that it's a mitzvah. It's a machloikes whether it's part of the mitzvahs, but Al Rebbe says it's a mitzvah.
There's a story of the
I know from not from other city. Think of time as is you can enjoy the food, you can enjoy the show, but have in mind that it's make you healthy. Have in mind
That's the same shamayim. That's not a Taiva.
but you're enjoying the food.
That's not if you're doing the same shamayim, then that's the thing. Al Rebbe says that also. I mean, yeah, this is the thing. But
Charlie, you go to a chasna and you're eating an ices. You're eating a smorgasbord.
So don't eat it. Don't eat it.
No, but
That's
okay.
Avera.
we're also
That is Avera.
And listen, I'll show you. Where's the Tanya? Where's the Tanya around here?
today.
Where's the
Not
Tanya?
today.
Okay.
A lot of I don't think so. I think you'll see.
What about what?
You go to chasna.
No. So, it's a Seudas mitzvah and Shabbos.
You Shabbos, you're not allowed to enjoy a bar of ice cream with chocolate syrup on top with cherry on top.
This is the thing. This is the thing.
Yes,
This is the thing. Harav, what's your name?
Mordechai.
Mordechai.
I'm at a route.
Everything is this idea of skadush amazing relation is kol echad lefi inyana. This is inyanim shenoikim banefesh. There's no. You feel yourself. I would encourage everybody, and I think of this myself, is that everybody knows himself. It doesn't need to be in dafka ba'achila. It could be like also, I don't know. I really want to say stam this dvarim b'teilim. It's not it's just stam share something that happened with
I want to be on the phone now.
yeah, absolutely. And I really want to. Or I put on my tefillin and like I put my phone in airplane mode and I really want to turn it off airplane mode to check my WhatsApps before I take up my tefillin. I don't know. These are big timers that people have.
Right, that's what we live actually.
That's what we live in.
Right. So this
is
worse than Mavis.
Why? Why is it worse than Mavis? Because it's bringing you down. It's bringing you down every time you do a taiva. That is
that's even muto. That's dvorim mutorim. You're allowed to eat chocolate now and all this. It's not muto, but just the taiva. That's the best.
V'zeu Shamar Azal, that Rebbe says in Perek Chav Zayin of Tanya. I actually learned this Gemara in Yuma like last week. Adam Mekadesh Atzmoi Ma'at Lamato, Mekad Shinoi Zaharba Milamayla. Levad, so when you do Kismas, Levad, Masha Mekayim, the Rebbe holds it's a mitzvahs asay shel Torah. Viskadishtem v'chulu, kishemekadesh atzmai b'mutarloi. Pirish viskadishtem shitasu atzmachem kedoshim. Kloimar after b'emerson a kodesh muvdol because the klipa is b'tak v'gvarasa b'chalas money rak shetoivesh yitzroi. O mekadesh atzmai viskadishtem v'isam kedoshim. Kloimar somebody is kodesh muvdol. That's mekadesh everything. So the corner of the Rebbe viskadishtem. The Rebbe says is a mitzvahs asay. I will say there are other shittas. There are in the minyan mitzvahs, but according to the Rebbe's opinion, it is a mitzvahs asay. So that means if a person does not do that, he is over on a taivas heter. He is over on a mitzvahs asay.
Scary to think that.
So it doesn't need to be. All I'm saying is it doesn't need to be ba'achila. You understand the concept? It's any. We need to be, and the point is we need to be in control. That's the idea. So Gashmis itself is mavis. And Ra is when this ability that we have within ourselves, the koyach hamisave. So there's two levels. There's taivas heter, and a person Rahman al can have a taiva to do an Eter, to speak lashon hara.
That's even worse. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Eter.
Yeah,
it's a ra. It's a ra. It's something ra.
So why Kadosh Baruch Hu to make it easier for us?
Who ordered that? Put the oil here and the type is over there.
We're suffering. We
Nisave akadosh baruch hu lihiyot lo yisbarach dira besachtoinim. Do you want to go bungee jumping in South Africa? They have this bungee jumping place, the biggest bungee jumping place. I've watched it. See people jump off the building, and I say every time, "We should go in. You pay me $1 million. I'm not jumping off that bridge."
When I asked the guy when he changed the robe, he said when I agree.
But it says, the Alter Rebbe says, Oifat Taive is Kain Kasha Nit.
That's big.
If you want to go bungee jumping, if you want to do something, if you have a taiva, desire to do something,
You gotta do it.
don't ask any questions. It doesn't make sense. A taiva, you can't ask any questions. That's what it is. Hashem, we don't understand why. He had a taiva. You know what he had a taiva? He had a taiva that will sit in this Olam Hazeh Gashmi in Tafshin Pei Vav, and we'll have the challenges of the modern era, and we'll have this Yitzhak, and you'll sit here and ask, Hashem, why did you do this? You know why he did this? Because when we really want to say this juicy dvarim b'teilim, I don't know, something dvar heter, stam, do a dvar heter and whatever, or eat something or put some geschmack ketchup on whatever it is, and you'll control yourself that little bit. The nachas ruach Hashem has is Yumamshich Gilya Lekus in the Welt. Good stuff. Any questions?
A lot of ketchup.
A lot of ketchup. I'm trying to think of. That's what I'm saying. There's no. You can't. There's no bar for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
There's no bar. Somebody asked me Yaakov Shach about, let's say, you should be Sachen. And he said, when you have, let's say, Isha and Chul, right? He says, give something up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Don't devour it. Give something up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Relax. Same thing with Achila. You like the steak, enjoy the steak, but don't attack it and don't devour it. They're different madrigas.
Exactly.
But that's also madriga.
Absolutely.
That's not called what you're calling in place.
Absolutely. And
It's not.
and like a marshal for that, I heard someone say someone, you know, you eating
If
a
a
steak,
person eats
don't
the
use a
hamburger-
knife. Don't use a knife. Like
Or if you eat
it's gonna be a little
you
bit.
have a
It's good.
mistake.
It's gonna be slower.
Great believe you buy the Fabrang and the Rebbe sitting across from you.
Yeah.
How would you eat?
You would eat.
You would
You
eat.
wouldn't
You would
eat.
eat. You have
That's
you would
Yeah.
eat. You have
Like a mensch, not like a behemoth.
Scary.
In the sinas, you won't devour it. You won't.
Absolutely.
Nobody
That
has-
But
is
you're allowed to
that's
enjoy it. But
absolutely.
You're allowed to enjoy it. And if you have in mind, I used to Christ. If you have in mind L'Shem Shemaim, you're allowed to enjoy it. Maybe
No. Okay. So that part.
It's like it's
It's a pathetic story with them.
No, saying, but you know what? We should get there. But I'm saying, I'm not saying we shouldn't enjoy it. The first level we should definitely do, but like at least we should know where we're supposed to get it. I mean, it's a high. Personally, I enjoy it. Yes, I'm a mensch. But we should know we should strive to.
If we're in this Madrid, the Emerson this year, you have to go.
No, we're on the level of Madrid. I mean, I'm on the
You
level
have to
of Madrid.
close every pizza shop. You have to close every sushi place. You have
Nachon.
to close because it's not healthy. You don't need it.
You know, there was a famous.
So then why are you not a Chayte Machlis Arabim?
So there was a
No. So what are you drawing a line with
listen. There was Mendel Futterfass. There was a big
Oh,
mashpia in Kfar Chabad.
It's very close to Rimmons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very close. The Rimmons and they were very close to that whole careful. It's the Alta Square They're very close.
I didn't know that at all. So one Shabbos, there was a bacher, and he invited him to come. Or no, not on Shabbos. That was the one day he used to invite him to come to his house, whatever. So he came to his house, and they came to his house. His wife served on the table. There was cookies and I don't know, chalent and all them things. And then Bendel took out and he said, "Come, take, whatever, and thing, and enjoy whatever." And then later on that night, Mendel called him up to the table. I think it was a Fabrengen, and he started throwing water at this bacher, or I don't know, screaming at him. Azam and Malay Taiva, you enjoying? You came to my house, and he said, "Okay, you told me, Mendel." So Mendel said, "You come to my house. I have the mitzvah of Achnasas Orchim. You have the mitzvah of Iskadish. I need to give. You don't need anything. So no, we don't need to close the pizza shop." But I like what you said. Don't everyone lefini yonoi. Don't be so loud. Don't be so.
I'll touch the car.
The Zayde from the
Fantastic Arbe? What's we're trying to say with that?
Overzealous of yourself because you're not.
But we should know where we should try to get to. If we can reach the
goal. Yeah.
we need to know
You
that.
have a direct.
So the answer is to get enjoyment is not allowed. If you're mamish like ishtar and things like that, then for another person, that's different story. But like Stam eating a steak,
It's not tzedek. The story it's not tzedek. There was a Kantanistan. They used to take the children when they're little kid for the army.
yeah,
20 years took them away from their house.
Cantonist.
Yes.
Nabach.
So
45, 40.
whatever. But the point is
5
that
years old.
one day the Tzemach Tzedek passed by. So they asked the general, "We want Tzemach Tzedek come to visit us." You know, a big rebbe. So he was masking. So they told him, "What should we do? We have no choice but eating the treif meat because if not, we'll die." So Tzemach Tzedek said, "Yeah, but don't suck the bone."
Really?
Wow. What are you trying to tell this?
A lot of
Take
them
away
guys
the time.
Bachram, they came out at 40 years old. They do. They
Right, but the point is, don't suck the bone.
Today, somebody asked me a question I didn't have answer. How come Terach did all עבירות שבעולם, selling רפות, צלבים, everything, was זוכה באברהם אבינו. Why Terach, the father of Avraham Avinu,
מה זה נוגע
was
למערב
זוכה?
Maybe if he did tshuva at the end of his life, must be that he was also good.
I heard the answer that he was big machnis ochel.
Ah,
Terach was very for the goyim, but he was. And Avraham Avinu saw it in the house.
so that's where he got it from. That's just,
Good
so
answer.
we'll stop over here. And yeah, we actually nearly finished the Maimer.
Because a person, if there is such a concept, the person's got
תישארו קצת אחרי התפילה.